All right, Brett, little rope a dope. You ready? Yeah, stretch. Get ready to go.
Rope-a-dope. That's more.
Is that a rope a dope? Good to know. Hello, non-sports fans. My name's John. This is my good friend Brett, and it is Super Bowl weekend, people. So all you non-sports fans, this is the show to get you up to speed, so you kind of sound like you know what you're talking about when you go to the parties this weekend. So we're gonna kick it right off, Brett. How are you doing today? You
Great,
fired up?
great. Yes,
Awesome.
yes, I am. Super Bowl Sunday. Every last Sunday was the first Sunday since the summer there wasn't football on. It
Yeah.
sucked. So
So I'd like to say this is the game I think that teaches most people Roman numerals. So what year is this? What game is this?
58
58.
started in 1966 with the Packers playing the Chiefs, and then the second Super Bowl was the Packers against the Raiders. We won't go through all 58, but there's your start.
Nice. So it's in Vegas. How many times has it been in Vegas?
First time.
Really?
First time, yeah. And surprise, what a great place to have a Super Bowl. I know
Yeah.
it's shocking.
Why not? They just now thought of this after 58 tries?
Well, they didn't have a team there for that many years. That they just built that stadium called Allegiant. Yeah, Allegiant, which we had to look up.
To see what it was. And we found out it's an airline. And honestly, I didn't know airlines had that kind of money, especially airlines I've never heard of.
I know, and you know what they paid for the rights to name the stadium for 20 years, $675 million. So $33 million a year to have your name on that stadium.
So you know they're skimping on maintenance, is what you know.
I fly all the time, and I never even heard of them. That's so odd.
Nice.
You're right.
So,
all right, back to the game.
What would it cost me to go to the Super Bowl?
Average ticket cost this year is about $7,000.
Yeah. What does it do for the city of Las Vegas? How much money they bring in?
They estimate 1.1 billion.
Yeah.
In additional revenue, but when that is determined by, I think you can a hotel rooms. There's 156,000 hotel rooms available. The cheapest price, I believe, is 300 a night. So you start doing the math there, and then all the flights in and everything. And so, yeah, 300,000 people, 1.1 billion. Nice.
All right. Last top level Super Bowl question. How many people watch this thing? It's supposed to be a big deal.
Well, in the US, it's 115 million. And then globally, yeah, globally, I mean, obviously it's way, way more than that. But, I figure there's 330 million people in the country. So over 1/3 are actually watching football game, which is
nice. So that's huge numbers. Like, is that the biggest TV show every year, or what's a scoop?
That's funny you asked. I was fascinated by this information, being a TV guy that I've been my whole life. 9 out of the top 10 most watched shows of all time are Super Bowls, and the only one outlier is the final episode of MASH.
MASH, the show that lasted 4 times longer than the actual war it was about.
Right.
Fantastic. But I bet everybody watching this hopefully knows the theme song to it.
That really in their head right now, they're going. Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah, it's a good one. Very good. All right, let's talk about teams. Who has the most wins
in Super Bowl history?
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots have 6, the Steelers have 6, and the Niners are going for their 6th tomorrow.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. It seems like there's certain teams that just go and certain teams that never go. Like my beloved Lions that I just started liking 4 months ago have never been, right? But who else has been there a lot?
There's 4 that have never won, and there's 14 that have never been, or is it 11? Doesn't matter. Something like it. 11, I think it is, that have never been. Mm-hmm. And then it's interesting if you look at NFL history. I guess for me it is. Probably wouldn't be for you.
It'll sound interesting when
if you look back, football kind of got popular in the 50s, and the Cleveland Browns dominated the 50s. In the 60s, it was the Packers, Vince Lombardi and all that. Super Bowl, they won the first 2. Then the 70s, it went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Terry Bradshaw and all those wins he had in the 70s. 80s, we go to the Niners with Joe Montana and Steve Young. The 90s, we go to the Cowboys. Believe it or not, they won with Jimmy Johnson, and Jerry Jones bought the team in the 90s. Troy Aikman, Cowboys were really good. Then 2000 to 2020, was the Patriots, who dominated that 20-year period. And now in the 2020s, moving forward, we have the Chiefs being the dominating team. So the NFL is interesting in that way, that somebody usually controls a decade, and to become part of that list is it's it's what franchises want to be, right? You want to be a Patriot or a Cowboy or Steeler. You look at those teams; they have the best history, right?
Right. So you mentioned the Chiefs. We've seen a lot of the Chiefs, it seems like.
Yeah, 6 AFC championships in a row, and
Wow.
4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls the Chiefs have been in it. So yeah, I mean, we're getting the Chiefs shoved down our throats for sure.
Nice. That's impressive. Who are the coaches?
Andy Reid, big dude that's quietly becoming one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's starting to get Belichick type numbers.
Wow.
And then Mike Shanahan, who's a son of a champion coach, Mike Shanahan in Denver, who won 2 Super Bowls. And he's just a genius. He's sort of started the younger coach revolution of these young, smart guys coming in and designing offenses that are really complex and stuff. And so a lot of people come off they call it a coaching tree. So like if you've coached with Shanahan, you have that experience, and a lot of these guys are getting jobs and making a big impact in the NFL. So there's really great coaching going on tomorrow.
That's
as
cool.
well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. So I guess there's the other side. Well, who's favored? I guess that's my next question. Like, who do you think?
Surprisingly, Mike Mahomes has won 2 Super Bowls. He's by all accounts the best quarterback in the NFL. And he's an underdog going against the San Francisco 49ers by 2.5 with a total points of 47.5. So if Vegas thinks the score is going to be about 24-23, something like that.
So that's like the over under thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So they put that number out there, and you either choose over or under, and you make some money one way or the other.
Yeah, it just shows how good the Niners are for the Chiefs to be underdogs. I mean, they won last year, so they're trying to become the first back-to-back champion since the Patriots did it 20 years ago, and they're underdogs, which they've been underdogs the whole year too. They were underdogs in their playoff game against Buffalo, and they were underdogs against Baltimore, and they won both of those games. So I wouldn't bet against Patrick Mahomes, especially since the NFL would probably like for them to win. Maybe a couple calls go a certain way here and there because of the Kelsey Swift thing.
Yeah. Nice. Well, Brock Purdy. I mean, that's who you got to pull for.
Purdy Mouth.
Purdy Mouth is the man. I'm super pumped for him. Mr. Irrelevant makes it all the way.
He's made a mockery of guys saying who they should draft and the number one quarterback. The dude is the last quarterback, or last player taken. We've said it a million times. I still can't believe it. The last player chosen, and he's in the Super Bowl. If he wins, it makes a complete mockery out of every analyst that's ever tried to pick a quarterback that should go, because all these teams are looking for that guy, man. I mean, that's the NFL is finding your quarterback, and if you don't, you won't win. You look at the games this year. The teams that are the best have the best quarterback. It's just simple.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, he's the bargain of the century, right?
Totally. Yeah, he's going to go from $800,000 a year to his next contract will be $50 million a year.
Yeah, nice. What were you saying about people? What percentage of people interviewed would be willing to give up drinking? what was
I don't believe this either.
35%.
1 out of 3 in an interview said they'd give up drinking for a year to be able to go to the Super Bowl. And then you also determined that 1 out of 3 people were lying about that.
I think 2 out of 3 at least are lying about it.
Yeah. I pretty much have to drink sometimes or else I'll go nuts. So is that an alcoholic?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's a loose term. Very loose term.
Yes. All right. So snacks. Snack of the year.
Snacks are interesting in the Super Bowl, right? So I thought this was kind of interesting. What do you think the favorite snack food is out of all of them?
Wings.
Chips and dip.
That's the easiest. You know what? Because it's a man's sport, and that is the easiest thing to make. So that makes perfect sense. Awesome.
Maybe so. Yeah, all these foods are your think about it. There's no like delicate touch to any of this stuff for sure. But the grossest.
Go ahead.
The grossest part, though, and this is another, I guess, probably a man thing, is the amount of carcasses that will be left behind after this Super Bowl.
So this is like shooting buffalo from a train. Is that what you're saying? That's
It's honestly kind of disgusting. It's what, 1.5 billion wings. So like two chickens per, that's what, 750 million chickens are slaughtered so we can shove them down our throats to watch football. Gladiators.
I
And
can't believe they
then
don't breed a chicken with more wings at this point.
and then that's and then there's 10, what was it? 10 million pounds of ribs.
Wow.
Ah, geez.
You
Making me
know,
making me maybe I love to see chips and dip.
it's a lot of food when they measure it in pounds. Like not even like the number of ribs, just pounds. Truckloads
Yeah.
of ribs consumed at the Super Bowl.
And right, and another thing I did see was that the second, this isn't surprising, I guess, but Thanksgiving is the day that people eat the most food, and the second day is the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, I can
we're
see
just,
that.
it just fits America so perfectly, this game, doesn't it?
Christmas doesn't even make the list. That's impressive.
Well,
Wow.
I'm sure it does. Uh,
All
I'm
right, Brett.
excited, man. It's gonna be a good game. It really is. I think it should. If you were betting, I would say take the points and take Kansas City because I think it's dead even, and I could easily. It could be a 1 point game so easily.
Awesome. Well, I played squares this year.
Oh, good.
Pretty exciting. I got a
Yeah.
lot of eights. I don't think that's going to be good.
No, no, you don't want that. You want sevens and threes
I got
and
ones,
zeros.
ones, threes, eights, I think. I don't know that I got a seven.
So 0, 3, 4, 7. That's what you want.
Zero, three, four. Okay. I'll go back and look. I think I got threes.
If you bet $10, you'd win $3,300. If you bet on a, remember we talked about scoreagami. Like
Yes.
that means that if the final score of the Super Bowl is a score that has never been seen in the NFL ever, like 44-4 or something like that, you would win 330 times your money. Scoreagami.
That's like tantamount to playing the lottery though, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
kind of, pretty much. But $10 wins 3,300.
it's not bad.
Yeah,
Very
I'll
nice.
take it.
Excellent. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy your game day tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be able to check in with each other and see how things are going. I've actually been invited to a party, so that will be
You're going
interesting.
you're going to a party, huh?
I'm going to a Super Bowl party.
Are you gonna flash some of your knowledge, or
Yeah, that's why we're here.
I mean, what do you think the most interesting fact that you'll break out? What do you think people are gonna go, wow, John, I had no idea.
It'll probably be the wings.
The carcasses left
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go into shame mode on everybody. And someone starts to put one of those in their mouth, I'll be like 1.5 billion
And,
wings today.
yeah, they'll be like, fine, I'll just eat chips and dip. And
Yeah,
don't double
750 million
don't,
chickens died for the right for you to watch this game.
that sounds about right, actually.
Very good.
All right, buddy. We'll have a wrap up what early next week and talk about the game. I think it's going to be one of the better Super Bowls. I think it's set up to be. So hopefully it doesn't disappoint. And sometimes it does, and it's but the other thing was we got Usher, so it'll be fine.
Usher. Yeah. So what's his deal? Does he make money doing this?
Nobody gets paid for that. Usher gets zero. He gets the publicity, and so
It's a
Apple
lot
and
of
the
marketing.
NFL.
Yeah.
I think it's $10 million to set up the stage and everything. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah.
So they don't get paid, but they sure get a lot of exposure from it.
Well, he'll win with me because I can't name one song by Usher. So
I know.
after this, I might be able to.
Look, if anyone's all interested in the game because of Usher and the commercials, I'm like, okay, fine. We're at a different point here, so I get it. But I'm gonna watch it with my wife home so we can watch the game and not be distracted because I actually like the game more than the
I mean,
party.
as the only game I watch all year, I think this will actually be a good one. You're right.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear your analysis of it. Pay attention, okay?
I can't wait for you to give me my analysis of it so that I can share it with others.
I can't wait either.
Excellent. All right, man. Well, happy Super Bowl day.
Enjoy it.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Peace out.
Bye. All right, Brett. Why is it the Super Bowl?
I know it sounds kind of like cheesy in a way, right? Super Bowl. 1967, Lamar Hunt, owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, had a son who had a Super Ball. Remember those Super Balls that you'd
Oh
like
yeah. I'm
throw it
still it's
around and
still bouncing somewhere in North Carolina. I have no idea where it
you
is.
take you take somebody's eye out with one of those things easily, especially in like a racquetball room. It would just
Yeah,
be
those are
going.
fantastic. Yep.
But so he got the idea and he submitted it in like a suggestion box for what they should name it, and then he changed it to Super. He got the idea from Super Ball and he named it Super Bowl, and they're like, "Yeah, that sounds good."
And to be sure, bowl is like the shape of the stadium. Yes, that's what it is. Like Yale Bowl,
Yeah, Orange Bowl,
that pantheon of
Rose
sports
Bowl,
excellence. Yeah.
Super Bowl,
Yeah.
College Bowl. Yeah, bowl. Look
Excellent.
at when you look at a stadium from above, what does it look like?
Bowl. Because platter is too big. Super platter sounds like something you'd get at Chili's or Applebee's.
You're funny today, man.